Welcome, everybody, to VFX and Chill. I am the titular Seth. I actually did not say our names in that introduction, so it was just a disembodied use of the word titular. Hashi and Michael, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, Setherson. It's good to see you. Good to see you as well, Michael.
Good to be seen. Good to see y'all. It's nice to hang out and relax. So there's a bit of a chill in the air as we approach winter in this northern hemisphere.
Yes, a VFX and Chill.
Yes.
Yes.
Michael's gone now, everyone. I fixed it. He's gone. He can't hurt us anymore.
Don't worry about it. You're free from punishment.
Punishment.
Oh, I just brought you back. What are you doing?
So,
all right, fine.
Yes, a very happy season's greetings. Winter in the northern hemisphere, as Michael mentioned, and if you're in the southern hemisphere, enjoying an uptick in weather, all good to you. Seth,
what other hemispheres are there?
Say again.
What other hemispheres are there? Let's go through them all.
There's like an up one, a down one. There's probably a left and a right.
Which one's the best, though?
Well, the one that we're in, obviously. This is true for everybody. Whichever hemisphere they're in is the best.
One you're in, you listener, viewers at home.
Viewers at home, your hemisphere is the best hemisphere.
Whether you think you can hemisphere or not, you can.
You can.
Or shemisphere. We don't.
Let's start there.
Should we start the show over? Let's start it over. Welcome to VFX and Chill with Hashi and Seth. I'm Seth. That's Hashi, and that's Michael. That's all you need to know. Don't let Michael say anything else.
Thanks for asking, Seth. I'm doing great. I'm actually very excited, and I'm just going to share that my lovely wife Mandy surprised me by flying my sister and her husband and my little niece out, which is awesome. So I am hanging out with the family up.
Which one of them is wearing the hat back
for the first time? Which
one of them is wearing the hat back there in the background?
Oh, that's my brother-in-law, Nick.
Nick, it's good to see you, Nick. That's all.
So yeah, a true delight. It's nice to have a. It's weird though because we can't all be called Hashi because we all have the same surname. So
right.
It's weird.
Oh, that's true.
It's okay. But
that's confusing.
It is confusing.
You got 2 more syllables left in there if you want to go Mo, toe.
Oh yeah, one of you could be Mo, one of you could be Toe and drive a truck.
One of you can be Mr. Moto.
One of you could be Ha. If you have a female one, they would be she. Be fine.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Hashi was actually a nickname for my grandma and aunt. Actually, like that's what they were called in school, and so I'm taking up the mantle of being called Hashi, which a lot of people don't put together with the Daniel Hashimoto part of it, or they'll realize it several years into knowing me, like, oh yeah, like the thing. But
Seth is having some fun panning and scanning. It's like he's a director and he's like picking his shots.
I wanted to talk to your brother-in-law, Nick.
As if Seth would direct films or something.
That's right. Seth is an amazing director, and I love him. I'm Nick.
He was bragged about by a famous A-lister on TV not that long ago.
Yes.
That was pretty amazing.
Hashi, you've lost weight.
I'm just, I decided before the holidays I would try to slim this down so I can consume all of the wild game that I want.
Wild game.
You're out in the rural whatever. You get like farms deliver eggs to your door. Like you're in cool land.
We do. Though we did actually, we changed our mind about buying the farm, as it were. So we are just enjoying a lovely little suburban life. But anyway, speaking of life,
we got plenty of it in today's show.
We all celebrate it. We have been. This last week has been this like inundation of new trailer releases, and we usually get we take a lot of inspiration from the trailers and things that we see around us. And there was an Indiana Jones trailer, a Cocaine Bear trailer, a Transformers trailer. I don't even remember what. A bunch
Guardians
of stuff
of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. These are huge movies coming out, and
yesterday.
Yeah, so we all got together, got our heads together, talked about trying to just narrow down what we could possibly do, with all of this information coming out.
And how many decisions were made?
Oh, was that the goal?
Yeah, we forgot. So here's the deal, guys. We have no idea what we're doing. We have plenty to choose from. We discussed.
If you've got suggestions,
I posted well, I don't want to hear from anyone else but us. We're the most.
Fine.
I posted on Twitter a screen you saw in our pre-show little loop that are screenshot from our Slack channel where we were discussing what we could do, and Michael's pretty adamant about doing Cocaine Paddington, which I don't know if I'm comfortable with. But Hashi, you had the idea that we could just replace. I mean, let's go to the Cocaine Bear trailer, shall we?
Yeah, let's check that out. If you haven't heard of this, this is a new Elizabeth Banks joint.
Elizabeth Banks, very funny.
Yes, and I love that we got Scott Seiss right out the bat right here of the classic IKEA TikToks.
Once I saw that.
Yeah, that reaction right there. And this one where he slowly closes the door back is great. So Hashi, your idea was taking Michael's idea and putting and making it a little less traumatizing.
This is pretty bad.
By just replacing
the trailer is pretty aggressive.
The idea
it should be a red band trailer because there's like an arm off later on.
There is. Well, they've stopped doing that for the internet. They stopped warning you anymore about that stuff.
They're just like, you're on the internet. You've seen it all.
Yeah, exactly. Which I don't know how I feel as a parent. Here we go. We're consuming drugs, which is really great. So here's what I'm thinking.
No, hang on. For the record, consuming drugs is not really great. You should definitely not do that.
You should not do that.
Sorry.
And
those words were not connected in any way. Here's the idea is to replace this bear with Paddington. But I think your insinuation, Hashi, was to not do anything else to Paddington. Just to basically put Paddington into the scenes and keep everyone's reactions the same. Yeah,
like have it be people being terrified about Paddington, but Paddington just being like, I think there's something about the sanctity of Paddington that I don't, like he may not be besmirched on this or any other platform.
I agree.
No, out of all the English, of all the people coming out of England, Paddington's the one that needs to be the most respected, I think.
Absolutely. So there's that idea. There is
Stephen Fry.
Paddington in Paddington Bear instead of Cocaine Bear. And
it's not confusing with it doesn't because the thing we all remember from the title Cocaine Bear is the word bear. That's the one that stands out the most.
That's why that's the one that's in all blood red.
The other one was Indiana Jones and the Dial of
yes,
Destiny. I haven't seen this yet.
It's such a good trailer.
Yeah, it is.
Except for one shot.
Let's take a second to watch it real quick.
Oh, I can't hear it.
When Atlantis
Just
sank
hum
beneath
the
the
Indiana
waves.
Jones theme to yourself.
If it exists.
That's if the Nazis haven't gotten to him first. Indiana Jones!
I love that they went all practical in this one.
I think that last shot might have been digital, though. No, this is practical.
It's practical.
What do you think this astonishing machinery was used
That's practical.
If anyone is going to become a god, it's me!
Incredible. And there's
So
our copyright strike. We'll get that now in the email.
Oh, that theme, though, the theme comes on, and I'm just,
Yeah, I'm taken back.
Evidence is easy.
Taken aback.
You're surrounded by it.
Oh, volcano.
Such a good effect.
Yeah, it is. Now here's the problem. This was a funny joke, but we're doing it at real people's expense. This is different. This is Fate of Atlantis. Sorry, but it is coming to theaters same day. So, all right.
That's impressive. Yes. So,
Hashi, you should probably tell everybody where that actually came from.
Let me wait. Oh,
let me open up my.
I thought I kept the window open.
No, but the window you did leave open was what Hashi and I were lamenting earlier about these sites where we use to download YouTube videos for the show. They keep becoming porny, and we keep finding newer, cleaner versions, and then those after a month or two become porny again. It's like it's like It Follows, but on the internet with YouTube downloading. It's just this sexually charged weirdness that's following us everywhere we go. And normally that's how I would describe me and Hashi's relationships, our friendship in general.
It's almost the name of the show.
Yeah, it's also the name of the show. But here's the thing. It's sexually charged weirdness that's coming for you. Now, nope, Michael, you're gone. I'm getting rid of Michael. How do I get rid of him? He's going to say, all right, here we go. So
we're like, fine, boss. How about VFX and chill then?
Yeah.
Fine.
Fine.
So
it doesn't mean anything. Indiana for real, Jones.
Yes.
Real
if you
quick.
don't know, the Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis was a Lucasfilm game. Wait, what are they? What was was it just Lucasfilm game? LucasArts game. And somebody did make a fan trailer. Specifically, Abscess Motion Pictures made this about 10 years ago. And it is actually an impressive undertaking for 10 years ago. And
for sure.
Absolutely.
They're using lines from the CD-ROM game and making them into a trailer. They're mimicking the layout of certain shots from the game and recreating them, which is pretty cool of them. So, yeah.
Look at that trap. Hang on, go back. That was a lovely Trap Code Shine shot.
Right there? Oh, yeah.
No, back.
Oh.
That one.
Oh, yes.
There's plenty of it. Now, yeah.
I think that one thing that is neat to point out, and we've probably talked about this on the show before, is that there are certain movies and franchises that get people jazzed about movie making. And yeah, Indiana Jones is clearly in that category, at least if you are our age. And I assume that all humans are like us, right?
No.
No?
I mean, half of humans are approximately half of humans are female, and we are not.
That's fair.
But otherwise, same age. Everyone's the same age as us.
Everyone's the same age and has the same,
Hey, this is the worst
media
possible,
cultural landscape.
Worst possible timing. I'm sorry, guys. I have a contractor who needs me to step away. So what I'm going to do is, we're in the clip section. So what can I do? I'm going to leave it on your screen, Hashi. You guys talk about something for a second. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys.
All right. I will say, speaking of Indiana Jones, this actually would tie in nicely. Outjogging Pictures has requested that we comp some Cinema 4D Pyro stuff in After Effects, possibly with Super Comp, like possibly a torch, which would be kind of neat to do.
Ooh.
Because Indiana Jones is nothing if not carrying torches in dark places. And it's very easy to make a torch in Cinema 4D Pyro, because that literally would just be a sphere pyro tag done. Just have to put it the right size.
That does sound pretty good, actually. So yeah, if I were doing something like that...
we just need to find a shot of someone carrying something that isn't a torch.
Well, one thing that I might actually just have right here, I'm going to quickly check 3D stuff. What did I call it? Probably, is it this one?
Christopher Verano said, "Cocaine Bear is the worst and best idea I've seen in years." Yeah, it is. It's on the same level as Sharknado, except this one's based on a true story, whereas Sharknado was not. I hope.
Oh man, nuts! I can't find the. I did that tutorial a little while ago of those living statue people.
Oh yeah,
and they were all torch wielding versions of these characters. But I'll see what we could do that would be. Let's try a Sketchfab importer, Indiana Jones. I don't know why I get so nervous typing live. Just
what I miss? Sorry, guys.
Someone in the chat had requested we comp some Cinema 4D Pyro to make a torch
I saw
in After
that.
Effects with Super Comp.
That's gonna take a little bit. Do we want to come back to it, or?
Well, I mean, it won't take that long to make a torch. The part is finding a good. Basically, the difficulty is finding a good shot
to light on fire?
to comp it with.
Yeah. See, that is the silliness. Like I'm trying to. To create a whole shot around it. That's one of my problems. Is I start with the info you don't need,
Well,
trying to get to the info you do need.
do they just want an example? Because if they just want an example of fire that's been comped to super comp, I got something for you right here.
Fire.
That right there, the fire coming out of our face was you comped with super comp.
Man, that's pretty cool.
So,
all right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly create a cylinder in Cinema 4D. I'm going to give it a few more height segments. Let's make it taller like that, maybe. And then we'll press C to make it some just solid geometry for a second. Whoops, I didn't need that rectangle. But I'm going to, let's sculpt this a little bit. Let's grab all these, the bottom here, make it a soft selection, and I'll just scale down this torch at the bottom. There, that's beautiful. And now I'll just add a little teeny sphere like this that I'll scale down, pop it up here, and I will make it a child of the cylinder. And on the cylinder, I'm going to add an animation tag, a vibrate tag. Let's have its position move around by like 500 centimeters in every direction. Frequency of maybe 1, and we'll have the rotation be moving around by about 30 degrees in every direction. And let me just save this as, what is today? VFX and Chill. Today, our folder is called Something, which is definitely what we will be covering on the show. So Something. We've got this little cylinder with a sphere attached, and so that's pretty straightforward to set up. And if I press play, this person is frantically carrying the torch around. That person looks too afraid in that moment. So I'm going to go to the vibrate tag and change the frequency down to maybe 0.3. So just a little bit more calm. Oh, did I not?
Now, are you planning? Are you just planning to? What kind of footage are you planning to comp this over in After Effects? Or are you just trying to? Or you just want to demonstrate the torch?
I'm just trying to demonstrate the torch. Is all I'm trying to do.
Christopher Vranos is saying, purely curious, could Pyro be adapted to be white and fluffy and look like excessive amounts of cocaine? Yes. I don't really understand how it works as a simulator. Is it just for fire or has a bit of flexibility? Oh my gosh. So it's fire and smoke mainly. You can color the smoke. It's really cool actually, because you can. So if you have smoke flowing, say this direction, you can put a box here and say, I want this box to contribute just color, and then the smoke changes color as it goes through the box. It's so cool. But you can also use it to do other things. There's a lot of folks right now, being that it's wintertime, who are using it to make ice, because it's just making an open VDB, like just making a VDB. So you can mesh the VDB and have this cool growing ice stuff. You can use it to make clouds. You can use it to make puffs of dust, and definitely puffs of cocaine would be possible, or puffs of angel dust or fairy wings or whatever. You could use it to make cold breath visual effects, which people have been ranting about lately. You can do all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, cold breath is a good idea for it, because you could actually make a little collider that's tracked to your face or something with whatchamacallit, moves by Maxon or something like that. So what I did in the meantime really quickly was just, I'll get rid of it. If you have something set up like this, and I'm actually going to scale the whole system down a little bit, because Pyro by default is a little bit bigger. It's more like if you add a standard figure or something like that. Oh, I guess I've already edited the scene scale. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm teaching this so well. There's a cylinder with a vibrate tag with a sphere attached to it. I'm just going to right-click on the sphere and say simulation tag Pyro. And then after that, you can just press play. And now I've got a perfect torch.
I mean, that's look at it.
And what's wild about it is, I mean, this is I can grab it in the Cinema 4D interface and like do this. I could be playing my footage in the background on a background layer, scoot this thing around real time in front of it, and then just export that.
Yeah, it's ridiculously easy to make realistic fire at this kind of scale. And what's really cool about it is that it uses sparse simulation. So a lot of fire sims, you have to make a box and say the fire simulation is happening inside this box. And if you have like a rocket trail, that's kind of long and traily. You have to make this giant box, and it just takes so long to calculate. This just says calculate wherever it needs to calculate. You don't need to set up a box. It can go wherever. So it will only calculate where that little thin rocket trail is, or in this case, torch. Someone in the chat, whose name I can't pronounce because I don't speak that language, asks if we're live. Yes, we are live.
We are live, so we can respond right to you if you have any exciting questions.
Yeah, the really cool thing about Pyro being native is that it works not only that it works with fields, which can drive vertex maps and all kinds of crazy stuff like that, because, of course, the vertex maps can affect Pyro. So you can use all the MoGraph effectors and stuff to drive it, because fields can drive polygon selections, point selections, vertex maps, vertex color maps, and, of course, MoGraph cloners for all kinds of things. But also, the effects of it work with Cinema 4D's simulation. So the soft bodies, cloth, and rope, and the fire all work together, which is something that you haven't been able to do in Cinema 4D with third-party tools like TFD, for example.
So, for example, if I had this little this object right here, and I put it above my torch like that, and I just add a simulation tag collider, I'll go to the beginning again, and now I'll press play and check this out.
It's so cool.
This is something that I couldn't do before, and I love it.
There's a reason the training team has just been doing fire stuff. Is going to be doing fire stuff all this month. Oh, hey, Christopher Vranos, you said it's over your head. Great. Tune in Monday. Every Monday in December, the Maxon training team is doing fire.
Yeah, it's amazing. And Chris Vranos, back to your
How is something over Chris Vranos' head? That doesn't make sense to me.
No, but he now completely understands it. Once he sees it once, he understands it and will remember it forever. So it's dangerous. Don't teach Chris Vranos anymore. But this basically is a VDB that you can then output to render with any package you like and to add any volumetric shader to. This is the default Pyro one, which is all I know how to do or use right now, but it works for me. So I will be doing a lot of stuff where I'm, trying to interactively add fire to my 3D scenes and being able to, interrupt them and do crazy stuff like that. Look, I just cut the smoke in half with a little disc. It's fun.
So much fun. And like if you animate something moving through the fire, like the smoke like whooshes behind it, like you would expect it to. You can have like a cloth with a rope with a cloth hanging on it that then gets moving because of the heat coming up from the fire. Like it's so cool to have everything so integrated like this. And again, like I said, you can use vertex maps with it, and fields can drive vertex maps. So you can have like the interactivity and the power that it gives you is just so crazy.
It really, really is very, very nifty and cool. Let's see. I'm trying to remember if I saved this at all. I made a little video with. Let's see.
This video was so good. And you did it in 30 seconds.
So fast.
This is kind of ridiculous, but I was trying an experiment with this. Whatchamacallit, a Terminator. And I wanted it to be dancing in a smoky field. And so let me just disable this one.
While you do that, guys, what's our answer to Jason Murphy's question, which is a good question. To composite the fire, would you render a pass for the fire and smoke separately? Is there a way to do that in multipass?
A good question. You could definitely render passes of them separately in Redshift. You can do custom AOVs, so you can just pipe anything into this AOV is arbitrary output variable. You can pipe anything into that and have a separate pass just in one render for different materials, for example. So you can say, hey, I want just the material that is driving the fire to be here. I want just the material that's driving the smoke to be here. So you could in one render have your beauty pass, a fire pass, and a smoke pass. Like you can render everything separate if you wanted to. So would you render separately? Well, most torches don't put off a lot of smoke, so you really wouldn't have to worry about it.
You can't put that on screen while Michael is giving factual information. It's not good for the brain.
What? What is so? What are you having trouble
Sorry,
with?
continue talking about arbitrary output variables, which, by the way, was my nickname in high school.
Oh, here comes Arby.
Here comes Arby. He has the meats. Anyway, lovely dancing smoky thing, Hashi.
Thank you very much.
But to answer the question,
Now is it hitting?
for a torch, you wouldn't need smoke because most torches burn are burning kind of fueled up burns cleanly. So you wouldn't need to worry about smoke that much. Maybe a little bit if you want to get nitpicky. But with a bigger fire, like a house fire, you certainly could use them depending on how what your shot required. You could use them, render them separately. Yes. To answer the question.
Yeah. So one of my little pyro tips that you'll get from me is that you can throw a collider tag onto anything so it'll collide. So I could throw a collider tag onto this moving mesh and get a genuinely amazing result. But computationally, it will be very expensive for it. And so what I did was actually a bigger cheat where I just went through and I added a bunch of cylinders, which I didn't even
You
align
guys hear a
that
dog?
well, turns out. Yeah, I just added a few cylinders to the arms here and stuck them in the skeleton so they would, be in roughly the right place. And I think that I thought that I added some more. Oh yeah, I added the one on his head and one on the torso. And they should all be set to be colliders, but I kind of forgot. So I'll turn them back on. And now you can imagine that what's happening is my smoke simulation is colliding with all of these things that are parented to the body, but they don't have to calculate a lot of complex geometry. They can just stick with a really simple interaction, and it gives it a pretty good effect.
It's something you should do in any simulation. Like if you're doing a shoe commercial with water splashing on the front of it, for example, you don't want to use that extremely high poly shoe model that the shoe company gives you for their beauty shots. You just make a really, really rough cage, and then the fluid sim has a lot less detail to worry about.
Mm-hmm. Precisely. So there's me turning my voxel size down, which is effectively turning the quality up, so you can get a better idea of the interactivity there. Very
Hashi,
fun.
Freako Pete in the chat.
Why is that robot dancing?
Why is that robot dancing with smoke? Do you have a good answer to this question?
What kind of a question is that? Why?
Like why are you making a Terminator dancing in smoke?
So let's see here. I will let me just double check this in another window before I try to share it with with a screen.
I'll go on my screen while you do that. I'm just watching this on repeat over here.
Oh, you're watching. This is the. Wait, I don't remember this from the trailer we just watched.
This is from the actual trailer.
No, this.
Oh.
Yeah. This is
the one. Why are you looping the one bad shot out of the trailer?
Just because I wanted to get ahead of it and say that, guys, I guarantee you this. Guys, I guarantee you this isn't final. I guarantee you it's not final.
It's not final. Don't comment on trailers. Don't
comment on VFX and trailers. And for the most part, we're good. And what's funny is it's not one of the seemingly harder shots. It's like the de-aging stuff is amazing.
Said, we need a shot of him on the horse for the trailer. Get it done fast.
Also, he's 85. It's totally reasonable to believe that they need to put his face onto people for certain stunts and things. Maybe that really is him, and they just over-cleaned it up. Who knows? And stabilized his head right there in one place. Anyway, we're just getting ahead of it here.
That's the kind of thing that Seth would make us go back and correct for a But with Raptors misalignment. So,
you know what's funny about this? I'm watching it here on loop. This is how it happens, everybody. I'm fine with this shot now. Watching it on a loop right here on my computer over and over, I don't see any problems. I have no notes.
It's basically, it's the Clockwork Orange approach to bad VFX. You just
watch it over and over.
The Plato's Cave version.
Now I have a problem with it. No, actually, I don't still. I watched it enough to where it doesn't bother me. And that's also kind of...
Who's that next actor?
The next actor? Oh, that's the guy from Flash Forward. Or Flash... nope. What was the show in the 50s?
The Flash.
90s in the 90s with...
The Jetsons.
Oh, yeah. How am I blanking? It was a show with the guy who ended up being in 310. It isn't actually that guy. This would have been a way better joke if... Oh, it's Ryan. It's Ryan. I forgot
that's Ryan.
Name.
Sorry.
It's Ryan.
Sorry.
Hey, Ryan.
Frigby Chillweather says, people criticizing this shot are naysayers.
Well
Justin
done.
Justin Leduc says at this point they're just horsing around.
How do I kick these people out of the show?
Vidro asks about Pyro. Is there an easy way to output it to a flipbook for like a texture in a game engine? I'm not very familiar with flipbooks, but as I understand it, they're a single image that has a bunch of images on it. And yeah, you would export an image sequence out of Cinema 4D, which is the way I always export. I never export a movie file.
Speaking of
you
fire,
just export your image sequence, then you would just lay it out on your flipbook.
Speaking of fire,
align range.
Yeah, there are a handful of like free flipbook makers that you can feed it, any,
That's a good
number
shot.
of.
Yeah, speaking of fire, this
That
shot
shot
rules.
is really
Such a
cool.
good shot.
This shot rules
I
so
kind of want
much.
to try recreating that maybe.
Yeah,
It's
do
so
it.
good.
Some wood and
I mean,
people.
That's probably all practical? Question mark?
I think that there's a lot of practical elements in here. I think
Yes.
that they are over cranking that explosion in a very neat way.
I don't think the people are real. I actually wouldn't be surprised if the wood is not real. Perhaps. Well, those people could. I guarantee. Here's what I'd say. Maybe those people right here are on rigs. They're stunt people being pulled back.
Mm-hmm.
There might
I was
be.
fine. I was fine with them being dummies, even.
Nah, these stunt people aren't going to turn this
people
down.
doing a
I see
wire pull
Yeah.
I see it.
jump.
That's I think that's several things composited. That's people being pulled back. And either way, it rules. And it's got
Such a good shot.
God. It feels like it's on a boat. It's got to be on a boat, right? Or in a tower. It's in a tower.
Somewhere cool.
By the way, it feels good. We won't have to comment on it too much, but it does feel good this particular week, to see this image right here. Just to see a Nazi get punched in the face. Anyway,
It's important to always
show a Nazi getting punched in the face.
Nazis are just bad. There's no reason to ever say good things about the Nazis.
Nope, we punch them in the face. These shots are awesome. I love these. And then this shot in the Millennium Falcon
shot.
surprising.
Oh my gosh! Like that popped up. I'm like, did they accidentally drop a Star Wars clip in here?
They have to
Wrong
know.
Harrison Ford role.
They know what they're doing.
They must know.
They knew that people would be like me and go back and frame grab that and say,
Yeah.
wait a tick here.
This stuff rules. Hashi, you were talking about how this shot coming up is one of your favorites right here.
This shot,
Yeah.
that shot
Yes.
is fantastic in motion.
That's
like,
great.
It's enough that I can't tell if the stunt might be real and the car that goes between them is the only digital thing, or it could. But again, like, people are getting very good at this kind of stuff.
It could just be a full-on real stunt.
Yeah, well, not the car coming between them. That's digital, but like, watch the way that like the body's sliding around, like
Yeah.
It's good.
That's the right
It's really
amount
good,
of
yeah.
movement for people.
Yeah, when
to
that
do
shot came in, I was like, oh my goodness, this feels like an Indiana Jones movie.
It's so great. And then you have Phoebe Waller-Bridge, our queen, right here with the killer reaction shot. And we have this stuff's great.
Yeah, that stuff's fine.
Um,
I'm excited for this movie. It
Fred
feels Indiana
Armisen.
Jonesy.
Fred
Unlike
Armisen right here.
A recent.
Mm-hmm. My favorite SNL character of Fred's.
We love seeing
Such a
the
good
whip.
scene.
And this joke
Look
feels,
at that. They
Such a
just
good
keep
joke.
on. It's a hat on a hat joke.
is.
That is just
and this
multiplied
this is
throughout
a
every.
very, very Spielbergy joke here too. Like his reaction, the pause, well, it's great. It just feels so great. And it's
and
going to
them
be
just all
competing.
firing with their arms up like that, even though he's already ducked. Like it's just such a good joke.
I do love the idea of possibly recutting that, and so
He
the
gets
second
shot?
he pauses, someone, just one of those guys, just goes bam, like just shoots at the end of their extension, and he falls out of frame.
You could make him just fly out of the window, like
That is true. That's primely framed for a.
if it was just like go
Mark Hamill,
and fall out. Yeah.
amazing.
You know what else I like in this trailer? I transitioned us pretty harshly back into this trailer. I apologize. I just really want to talk about it.
It's such a good trailer.
It is. All this stuff on the train, big fan. Big fan. Look at that shot.
Look at that.
That one, that's solid. That's a solid shot.
Absolutely solid.
It's so exciting. And for anyone who hasn't been watching, like, who hasn't been, like, you know, paying attention to the news, they announced that they were going to be doing this de-aged, you know, prologue in the movie. It's very exciting. Like, if you hadn't been paying attention to the news and you watch this, like, there's a split second where you're like, oh yeah, it's Indiana Jones. Hang on a second. he is young. Like, you might not even realize it till the next shot that you just saw a young like a younger Indiana Jones. And I love how they use de-aging to turn him into Antonio Banderas. That's incredibly exciting too.
That is really cool.
That is who that is, right? I'm not just making that up.
I did not think it was until you said it.
Oh,
and now
crap.
I'm
I thought
staring
it
at the
was.
eyes.
Oh man, maybe it's not.
That shot is a little. They will fix it.
Yeah.
It's too hot on his face, just a little bit. But it could just be like the effect of the way they're transitioning and stuff. Yeah, it might just be the transition to red there is too much.
Oh, it's back to being weird to me. It's that
it's weird.
that his head doesn't change rotation at all, and it
doesn't.
Oh, look, Look at that.
It's that frame right there. And
Let's fix
and
it.
sometimes that comes from a situation where the stunt person's head is actually probably whipping back a little bit at that point, and but trying to keep the head straight on instead of turning sideways, because nothing will betray the lighting faster than the head turning, but the lighting not turning with it. And so I'm imagining that someone said okay for the trailer, but
and I understand why. You know what it is? It looks fine here, and then if we skip these frames, it looks fine right here. Yeah. It's that transition. You're right. It's like you had two tracks, like you had two nulls, like in the crudest way possible. It's like you had a 2D track with two nulls, and you're having to interpolate between the two in this little section here to get from one good track to the next good track. I kind of want to Bob the Builder this. Should we like?
You could. The other thing that's missing is the point. It's the point where his chin casts a shadow on his jacket is off, because I would bet that the stunt performer is looking not, dead at camera or, dead past camera. He's probably facing forward and keeping track of what the horse is doing. And so there's no real shadow on that probably real suit.
All right, I got to dive into this. Do you want to dive back into what you were doing while I'm not going to fix? I'm not going to be able to fix it. I'm not going to claim to be able to fix this. I just want to mess with it.
I can't fix this.
I can't, and I'm not claiming to. And in no way am I. We're definitely better not thumbnail this. We fixed the shot from Indiana Jones like Corridor would.
No.
We love Corridor, by the way. That was not a diss at them. They know how to.
Even Mark Hamill took him to task for saying that. Do you remember that? Like very, very, very respectfully was like, "What you guys do is very impressive." Well, a word of
Oh, really?
Someone who's worked in this industry for a long time. Perhaps think about how you want to frame this.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Oh no, it was a very thoughtful reaction to it of just saying, like the technology is there. You guys are all very talented, and if but
and if you want to work in this town again,
okay,
yeah. If you want to, want people to hire you because you can do something impressive, maybe don't put down other people. That's not really how.
Okay, I'm going to make the thumbnail. I'm going to go ahead and make the thumbnail ahead of time right now. And what it's
oh my gosh, this is a world record thumbnail.
The thumbnail is going to happen before the show's even done.
And it's going to say, "We didn't." It's going to say. Here's what it's going to say. Here we go. We didn't fix this shot from
Ooh, I like this.
Indiana Jones because VFX are really, 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 really hard. That's the thumbnail.
That's a good thumbnail.
Just gonna
fantastic.
Put a drop shadow or an outline or something on there, and we'll
absolutely. Let's go back to bold. Anyway, Hashi, what are you gonna do right now?
Hang on. Control space bar. Save it. Send it to me. I'll make it the thumbnail.
Right now. Okay.
Seriously, I'll make this. I'll update
look at
it
that.
Right
a live update. Like
drop it in the chat.
do I do anything?
Making that thumbnail because I was remembering this very good thumbnail that.
Oh, let me see. Oh yeah. Do I even dress this up? By the way, like do I put him in foreground anyway in Roto, or do we just?
Oh yeah. No. You got Roto the head part out or something.
Yeah. All right. I'll clean this up a little bit. Hashi, you do something for a little bit while I
Sounds
work
good.
on this thumbnail.
All right. So one of the things that I thought could be fun to do, and I don't really know if it'll work, but hopefully, like between now and Indiana Jones coming out, if you haven't seen The Amazing Fleabag, it's not called The Amazing Fleabag. The show is simply called Fleabag.
But it's amazing.
It is amazing, and if you haven't seen it, you really should. And
I haven't seen it.
It's
season
very
2 especially,
funny and very.
Season 2 is a masterpiece, just a straight up masterclass in writing and acting and everything. It's so good.
It deserves all the awards that it got, and the fifth Indiana Jones exists likely because of the energy that Phoebe can bring to stuff. But I was thinking that I didn't get enough moments in that new Indy 5 trailer of Phoebe being her more Fleabag character, which is, like without spoiling it for people who have not seen the show, a woman who's trying to make sense of her life and shares that with you, the audience, by breaking the fourth wall throughout the show, which is quite lovely. And so I was trying to find bits from that trailer, like Indiana Jones in the lecture hall, and seeing if
one of the lesser interesting Indiana Jones installments.
So I'm trying to. I thought that it could be fun to make some kind of a cut of Phoebe as her Fleabag character, who I don't remember what the name was in the show.
Phoebe Fleabag.
Phoebe Fleabag of the Fleabag family. And so
first name Flea, last name Bag.
I want to modify this section, and unfortunately my audio isn't sharing, but there's a moment where the guy says, like, "Hey, who is this?" And in the trailer, this is a pretty good one. They both talk over each other.
Oh yeah.
Indiana's like, "She's my goddaughter," and she's like, "We're barely related at all." And so there's a great clip from Fleabag where it goes like this: "Who is this man? I don't know who this guy is." To camera, and then we'll turn back into the shot and say, "We're hardly related." And there's also this, there's a turning and saying, "We can't always," I don't know, what does he say? "Those
can't
days
always
have come
get
and
what
gone."
we want. That's what he
sadly
says.
walks away.
Yeah.
And I thought that I might be able to cut that with one of the classic stare into camera afterward kind of shots or something. just a little bit of like Fleabagification of some moments from D&D trailer. But anyway,
Freebie, that font that Seth is using is the official VFX and Chill logo font.
Recoleta is the name of it, and one of our favorites.
Recoleta.
It's so soft and retro and lovely.
And if you want to hear me rambling on about fonts, I believe, if it hasn't come out yet, there's an episode of the Writers Room Game Show coming out. Either it came out a week ago or 2 weeks ago, or it's coming out next week, where Ryan, Polly, and I finally do what we've always threatened to do, which is talk about fonts for an hour and call it Talk and Type. Anyway, that's not this episode, this show. This show is not for such juvenile things.
I had a lovely fun playing with an old-timey font the other day. We're doing a charity event here at the Manor, and so I was making a logo for this event, and it had tons of fun with all kinds of ligatures and whatnot. This old-timey Christmassy theme.
Is it something you will share anywhere?
It's going to be, it's already, the logo's already up on the Caledonia Manor website. I mean, it's an in-person event. People are going to come. We've got some very, here, hang on. I've got to at least tell you, you're going to appreciate some of these cocktail names. I'm setting up a whole list of cocktails. They're all very wintry themed. I've got some eggnog that's been aging for the past couple months in preparation for this. It's going to be great.
Oh, I remember. That might have come up on the show when.
I mentioned it.
Filled with,
There's a lot of jars of eggnog in the fridge, but
my favorite
Alton
Christian
Brown
band
has this lovely recipe for eggnog, homemade eggnog, alcoholic eggnog, and it is just you age it for months, and it just gets better and better every month. It's great. So, I've got 7 different Christmas themed cocktails. All I wine for Christmas, which is just a mulled wine, so it's not that impressive cocktail mixology wise, but it's amazing taste. If you've never had a proper mulled wine, it's amazing. I'm dreaming the White Russian.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's a White Russian, but using a gingerbread spice syrup in it. Ginger All the Way, which is a whiskey and ginger ale thing. Or possibly there's a local distillery that does really cool apple pie moonshine I might use in there instead. We Wish You a Berry Christmas, which is just a cranberry and pomegranate, which is also a berry juice mixed with vodka. And a couple of little things. Nogging Around the Christmas Tree is what I'm calling the eggnog.
Nice.
Rosemary Did You Know is a smoked rosemary old fashioned. And my favorite one is a clarified milk punch with rum as the main liquor, and I'm calling it Rum Pub Punch.
Oh man,
Very proud of that
I
name.
can approve this.
Yeah.
How excited were you when you found out that you were being tasked with making a drink list? Or
I was I was like, I mean, I like making a really, like, I don't drink a lot, so when I do drink, I like it to be good. So I enjoy making, like, infusing syrups and vodkas and whatever. But I wasn't that excited until I thought of Rubba Pum Punch, and then I was like, I'm in. This is going to be fantastic.
Michael, I've shared with you in the Slack. This was my menu that I made for our family Christmas gathering.
Someone's at the door. Be right there.
Okay.
It's the day of people arriving at doors.
It is. Just so it's clear, I'm not going to share this link in the chat, but because it includes, I made this little menu via the app Craft that I could send a link to my family while last Christmas, and they could, while we're all together that day, and they could, if they wanted to order a drink. Oh, Michael's back, so I'll say it all again. Here we go. Michael, I was just telling Hashi, I made this menu for my family's Christmas gathering last year. It's not to be shared publicly because I made it to where they could actually click on a drink and it would automatically text me the order, and I would then immediately make it for them. But if you click the link, you can see many of the drinks that I prepared last year.
I feel like that's something that you would have completed, and then Arlie would say, "But did you clean the living room yet?"
And I would say, honey, do you want a drink? But my favorite of this mix last year was the Late Como Christmas, which I never made before, which is vodka, Campari, Cointreau. I never said that out loud. Cointreau. Orange juice, cranberry juice, and champagne. It was delicious, and we drank buckets of it. Oh, you're muted.
Excellent.
Michael.
That sounds really good.
Am I muted?
No, Michael was.
Oh, Michael's muted.
I was just saying that sounds really good. That's a really clever little thing.
But like, just one more time from legal, like, do not drink buckets of alcohol or consume packages of cocaine.
Yeah. Or
neither one of those
that's
things.
Not even
especially if you're a bear.
You know what? Ask your parents.
Ask your parents before consuming buckets of cocaine.
This tastes horrible. And
Frigby, yes, a milky cocktail. A really cool thing about a clarified punch is that you use the milk and acid of some kind, in this case citrus, curdles the milk and strains impurities and stuff out of the cocktail. So it gives a cocktail this really like smooth, creamy almost mouthfeel, but without the milk in it. Like, because what happens is you mix all the stuff, you get the milk, and then you pour the stuff into the milk, and it curdles the milk, which sounds gross, but then you strain all the curds out, and you're left with this amazing, delicious mouthfeel, flavorful thing.
It's like your wisdom on the show, always clarified, So let's.
Barf.
This Fleabag thing is a dud. It's not working out. I liked the other two clips. I was going to try a thing. Though I should make a TikTok filter that is just Phoebe doing that. That's like, and you can put it in front of whatever awkward thing that you're filming.
That's not a bad idea.
To signify, like, yep, this is.
Hashi, you've made a TikTok filter on the show before. I don't see why we
True.
couldn't. Why
Which,
we
by the
couldn't
way,
do another one now.
It did get approved by the TikTok Council.
Hey,
so
well, could we make one that was Harrison Ford's face and we just put it onto?
Just track it onto you.
Yeah.
Anytime you're riding a horse.
Or could we make it old? Could we make like an old, not like M. Night Shyamalan's old, but an old filter that, well, technically it is M. Night Shyamalan's old. Basically, that we could run the trailer through or run old Indiana Jones footage through to make him old.
Mm.
Oh, oldify.
See, now you're talking. Yeah,
Oh,
now I'm
oldify.
Oldify the old Indiana Jones is.
Yeah. So the young is now the old.
This is fantastic. So we've talked about a lot of things on the show. We've talked about the
we're now
potential
1 hour into the
de-aging
show.
and up-aging. What do you? Oh, I guess the word is just aging, right? You don't have to say
Up-aging?
de-aging.
No, it's upaging.
Up-aging.
De-aging.
Dude, are we really an hour into the show and just now presenting all of our options for what we'll do on today's
I
show?
showed them how to make a torch and
We did a torch.
and
I made a
this thing.
thumbnail.
You did make the thumbnail. Look, we're practically done with the show, everyone.
No, I'm still working on the thumbnail.
Are you adding a raptor to it?
Oh,
No.
this is my elf raptor
The elf
animation.
raptor.
That one was good. Anytime you show that elf sitting and just listening to someone talking, it kills me. I die.
Oh yeah. Anytime anyone's just like having an earnest conversation with a raptor, it's just like it was from the very, very beginning, the Mission Impossible trailer, where she's just talking at him and he's just
man.
like listening. Like
When he's listening to that, and when he's
it's so
listening to
funny.
Alec Baldwin at the beginning
it
too,
is
it's yeah.
lovely. I love that I had this file on my computer, and instead I like navigated and searched for it on Twitter. like that. These moments are so great.
That when he gets down and listens, it's my favorite thing I've ever seen.
Can you see through his mouth in that shot, Hash?
Yes, and I noticed it once I had output it, and then was like, I'm releasing.
Only
it.
Michael will
No
notice.
reason to fix it.
No reason. Yeah, right here you can see through Raptor's mouth. And one of the weird things that I had to do on that one was I content aware filled all of Will Ferrell's face out of here,
Mm-hmm.
which included like he's got like big prominent ears in the elf costume and everything like that. And so, like the way his hair's done, it's like his ears are very stick outy. And so I think I had to do something like what did I do? Oh, I remember. I did one frame where I clone stamped the hair to be closer to one frame of the render raptor, and then the rest was blank like this. I had cut out the skin from it, and so then I ran content aware fill with only that one raptor frame visible. So the result was actually a kind of like it's a cheap Vranos lockdown version of the edges of the raptor head being stuck in place, which was nice. And so then I just comped the other raptor over it, but my Z depth plane for the cutoff point for the mouth is too you can see right through the neck.
The neck.
But whatever. It's a silly meme thingy. Oh yeah, I felt like at some point I was summarizing the things that we could possibly cover that we had talked about.
Maybe.
And one was
Hang on, we just dropped into the chat how to use
Oh.
content aware fill to warp things, because you did an Indiana Jones themed face melting template
true.
Yeah.
that tricks content aware fill into warping things for you, like you just mentioned there on that elf trailer.
Exactly. You can
So yes,
hack
there's
things to do things that they're not supposed to do.
Lovely template. Look at the template of Doom. But Hashi also talks through how you can build up how you can trick content aware fill yourself to make it do the things you want it to do.
Yeah, that was a good tutorial. Y'all slept on that one. I felt insulted.
I didn't sleep on it. I'm in it.
You're in it. Seth did not know what he was doing. I was like, make
When do I?
a scary face, like do this, and he did that, and I was recording it.
Seth, you are making the didn't, or like extra caps or a different color, right? To really make it stand out.
Yeah, I should. Part of me is like, you just want the deadpan.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right.
Wait, what is-
It'd be good both ways.
Wait, switch back to what you're doing there, Seth.
Here's where
Let's
I'm
see
at
the
right
progress.
now. Progress right now, it looks like this. Is that okay?
It's perfect.
All right, I'm gonna output this, Michael. Any notes?
Yeah, if we're happy with the deadpan take on it, I'm ready to grab it.
Should I make didn't? I just feel like
I just like that
okay.
because people will see that shot and then they'll
How
read the
about
info and
happy
go,
medium?
okay, I'll
Happy
check that
medium.
out.
Oh, do we need to have the VFX and Chill logo on it?
Absolutely.
Nah.
That's why we got it in the Show Brandon folder. Show Brandon folder.
What? You don't
Brandon
have a Stream Deck
folder.
button that imports that file and pastes it?
But I got our sticker right here, which I love to use. Sticker.
The sticker is
very nice. My default After Effects project file has our two the 16 by 9 and the 235 watermarks saved in it because I need them all the time.
Where do I put it? Back up here behind him?
Oh, you
Or
put it
on
behind
the
him in
horse.
Yeah,
On the horse?
On the horse's breast, just right there.
like the on the bear's chest. I put the logo on the bear's chest for the promo graphic today, which someone took. That's clearly a picture of a taxidermied bear growling that someone took a picture of and put on Adobe Stock.
Here's the only reason I'm hesitant to do this is because it looks phallic to me now on Harrison Ford.
Yeah, just put it behind put it behind the horse. We had it. It was fine behind the horse's head.
Behind the horse's head. That works for you guys. I hate it. Hang on.
I'm a huge fan about tucking things behind stuff. Like it just adds a level of like.
Merry
I
Christmas,
cared.
everybody. Yeah, it's Todd Vaziria's favorite trick as well.
I feel like
Is it? Oh, I knew Todd was a good guy. Now I know why.
I feel like we made this thumbnail for Todd.
We did.
If Todd doesn't tweet about
Vaziri,
this thumbnail,
famously,
I'm walking away
who did visual
from his
effects
account.
for an Indiana Jones movie, loves the effect where, like, a quote about the movie is rotoed into a movie trailer or something like that, or all the 5-star reviews or fill the screen, and Thor or whoever is walking in front of it.
Seth, you copied that for Super Comp, didn't you?
Copied what for Super?
For the 4th of July.
Didn't you have like a bunch of like helicopters in front of quotes?
Okay, that was for the VFX. It was for the lens distortion matcher promo.
Oh, that's right.
And we intentionally put a quote from Todd Vaziri, a fake one in there that said, "I love when trailers put text like this into the thing," with his name, just for him, without permission. And then we told him about it. Okay, this by putting the logo above it, it looks like a very special message from VFX and Chill, like our press release, our official statement.
Yeah.
Do we hate it?
I like to run behind the horse.
All right, go behind the horse.
I like that whole.
Because we need it because you need the text to be as big as possible for a thumbnail.
How's this?
It's good.
There we go.
I like it.
And I press my Stream Deck this little button that sends it out as a JPEG, and I'm going to save it.
Ooh, look at that!
Oh, that's even faster than Control Spacebar save.
Wow, you saved a.
For those who don't know, Video Copilot's handy dandy little shortcut button for FX Console doesn't just pull up your effects. He's also got a little button to quickly save out.
It's cool.
Not that one. Not that one. Not that one.
Not that one. Because look, every time I do this, the color is vastly different than.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay.
Control Spacebar and then hit the middle one.
That?
Yeah.
Oh dang. Well, I like mine better. Here we go.
Well, you got a Stream Deck button. It's even faster.
Did you just say the F word on our show?
I said Stream Deck.
You got the Stream effing deck over there.
He said fuzzy duck.
Stream fuzzy duck. Stream. That sounds like a command to a duck. All right, here we go.
Scream fuzzy duck.
Yippee-ki-yay, fuzzy ducker. We have the thumbnail is going to be shared now in our mutual channels. Here we go, Michael. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, boom. There we go.
Downloading now.
Excellent. I
kind of love that this episode. I've made a thumbnail. That was my
Well done.
Oh God. Okay.
I mean, it takes us that long to make the thumbnail. Imagine how long it takes to produce this show.
By the way, that is how long it takes me to make thumbnails. That is half the time it takes me normally to make thumbnails. I spend too much time on them. While I'm making a thumbnail, Hashi's making weeks of content.
I am.
There you
I've
go.
finished through June. I'm actually taking a quick look at this shot again, just because I want to remind myself of how cool that is.
Oh yeah.
Such a good shot.
I also love. I mean, great trailer cutting too. The
With the boulder into the thing, which by the way, boulder.
Boulder. What?
I hardly know her.
This has to be a joke, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
or it's
I
the
didn't notice
actual-
that Indy was also helping there.
Yeah.
I assumed it was Indy walking ahead, and Phoebe said, "Hang on," and then you see that, like, without anybody, just see this. Yeah, this poor like Atlas's globe go rolling down this corridor, destroying everything, and like, imagine if we were in front of that situation.
Oh God, why aren't we writing this movie?
We should be writing this movie.
Is that what we should be doing this on this episode? So
Well,
that's
if you
another
send-
thing
if
we
you
could
send
be
a
doing
boulder-
today is
If you send a
writing.
boulder down a corridor, you should definitely do it as a practical effect because you don't want a corridor digital.
You know what?
Oh,
I don't want to use corridor in a negative context. All right.
No, we love corridor digital.
Here's the thing: every cool thing that we think to do,
Corridor already did it.
it's the absolute truth. So respect. Plus, we love them. We love you guys. Bye. Especially Ren. Okay, bye.
I'm just watching more people getting punched in the face.
God,
What I
super
do
kind.
love is the
The
frame
word
by
beef right
frame,
in front of them punching.
and also the moment of reaction.
Oh, yeah.
is literally exactly one frame late, which in motion looks phenomenal.
It's very Indiana Jones. Wait. So him hitting the Nazi in the face in the car, I noticed going frame by frame, there's a delay there. But then the one there at the protest, I don't think I even saw him react. Did I miss it?
Oh, see, it's something
look.
about that older movie where the punch happens, then the react happens fast enough that you don't really feel that it's
But
wrong.
who's
but
he
it
punching?
just feels better.
Oh, I see it. Never mind. I saw
Yeah.
it then.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because you were going backwards. That one there has the delayed reaction, which is great, which is the...
Because the spring back happens there already, fist already moving back, so the momentum should be
Yeah.
transferred, and then, but it
reads
great.
in motion. It reads better.
It does.
Well, with sound. Sound's a big old part of it.
Yeah, the sound really does tell you when the hit happened, huh?
You know, it does make me want to...
Let's see.
Okay. By the way, this is an
I'm a little bit
accident.
Curious. I know we have, we're an hour into the show. I'm curious if this shot is recreatable digitally. It's
think
funny
you can
because
do
we
it.
have pyro now, and that's really cool and all. But if I were doing this in the fastest way possible, I would just use stock footage.
That's true. From this trailer. You
Yeah, I
just
would
take
use
the
this
footage.
plate. One layer After Effects. Boom.
Now, by the way,
No.
because of the way that I did scene edit detection and pre-comp that shot, this is how the trailer cuts now for me.
Wait. Oh man. Wait.
Eh.
There is. I think the foreground guys are stunt people,
Oh yeah.
but there is one. I think digital person. And let me press my tilde key for a second.
They may all be digital.
Okay.
What I love
They
is we
could
never
all be
know
digital,
who is
but-
in our
and
chat
their movement
that knows
is
the
great.
answers to this.
But yeah, someone's got to know. Todd, we weren't making fun of you earlier. Let us know who.
Oh, we were
who's-
never. I think Corridor got the worst part of today's episode.
This dude right here.
Oh,
So
he's-
watch this guy. He flies up, doot, and does a little hits a wall and then falls. These two guys actually both look a little ragdoll physics.
Wait, they also their
Right.
faces are pure white. Are they crash test dummies?
I told you they were dummies.
But are
I
the
mean,
actual crash
they
test
s-
dummies from Saturday morning cartoons?
Well, they set the precedent for it when they nuclear blasted a town full of dummies in the last Indiana Jones.
Those are just
This
Buster
is the
from
scaled
Mythbusters.
down, intimate version of that.
If only these folks had mini fridges.
If you zoom in on those, by the way, I'm still a believer in the nuke the fridge. I still think it's rad. If we zoom in on their foreheads, you can see a hazard sign, the circle with the looks like a tracking marker, the crash test dummy thing.
Maybe it's a Nazi symbol.
I am glad that those guys are getting work because huge for a little while.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know how to move around my frame. Oh, here we are. I'm in Premiere, so I don't know really how to navigate a zoomed in image.
Premiere doesn't do anything for that.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Still, a very impressive shot. So I'm kind of curious to see if I could recreate this one.
I mean, unconscious people do move like ragdolls too, so
It's true.
once the explosion goes off, they could be like
Maybe they knocked the
unconscious.
stuntman unconscious, hooked them up to the rig.
For me, it's the physics of the impact before the fall is too fast on that character. So watch. In real time, the fall is too fast. From hitting that, you'd be stuck there for just a second longer before starting to fall down if you threw a person at the wall.
Well, classically, that's what we'll
Hang on, let me go find a person.
No, watch how fast anything else that would be
I got
falling
some kids.
relative
I
to
can throw
gravity
them
is
all.
You got
falling.
several.
Too fast.
You got several persons in there for you.
That's all. That's my only complaint is this one dude falling slightly too fast.
Oh, Hamara Pereira. What is
I'm now about to
cooking?
recreate this really
us.
poorly.
We were talking through trailers that dropped this week. Transformers we barely mentioned because who cares anymore. Indiana Jones we are on a hardcore because we are very excited about it, and we also talked about the Cocaine Bear trailer. And
I got really depressed breaking apart the Cocaine Bear trailer into comps, thinking about Paddington. So I'm moving on to not fixing this Indiana Jones head thing. I just want to experiment and see if I can learn anything by trying to fix this Indiana Jones shot. That's what I'm doing.
That sounds
over here.
good.
Hashi, you take over.
All right.
We're about to do really fun stuff.
All right. So what I'm going to do is that shot of the floor exploding is way cool. I really like it. And one of the ways that I would try to start recreating something like that, it would be by, I think that floor could just be, let's see, there are a couple ways you could do the floor. Because I love the way all the boards looked flying apart, I'm actually going to literally create a board of my own like this. And then instead of you could do a Voronoi fracture with like a wood pattern situation, but instead I'm going to just try making a cloner with a bunch of these.
put it in honeycomb. Put it in honeycomb mode.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we'll go to the cloner. We'll change it to a honeycomb, and we'll go to its transform properties. Wait, no. Per step, we want it to be... So there's no height offset.
Jason Murphy, there will be a
whoops.
Raptor version of that horse shot. Well, now there's going to have to be. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Damn it.
What are you looking for, Hash?
Wait, why am I... that's what
That
I want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want that, and then I want the things
You want it to
over
be.
that
You want the offset to be exactly in the middle. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that. And then you want to make the per step smaller.
Where am I? Oh, yes. Okay. Been a while since I've jumped into the old make a wood floor situation. So the wood floor doesn't have very many beams in this little section. It's probably got, I don't know.
No, you need to have them smaller so that the sections interlap.
Yeah.
So make them wider vertically, how we're looking at it now, and then smaller the other way because you need to space
Wait.
them.
So what am I looking at? I want the. Oh,
No, don't touch that. Don't do that. We're just right there. Go.
Yeah.
Go to that. Make that more. Make it go up and down more, and yeah. Keep going. No, go in further.
In.
Yeah, and then make the other. Then spread them out the other direction.
Yeah,
right there.
Oh yeah. So they're overlapped. I gotcha.
And you probably need a third set.
Yes. There we go. Thank you, Michael.
No problem.
And let's make the floor a little bit wider. That's probably plenty. So yeah, we made a floor out of a thing, and those are slightly thick little planks like that. Under the cloner, I'm going to add a. Let's see. How do I add a tag to the cloner that is a bit of random?
You know.
What do I want to do to give everything a little bit of
A random effector.
a random effector?
Yes.
A random
go to
effector.
those are-
Random
or right
effector.
there. Go down. No, not that section. That's the deformers.
Oops.
You want the
Another
next the
dimensions?
section below it. Nope. Down one. That one.
Random effector.
Yeah.
Okay,
Random
so
effector. A random effector.
now I don't remember. I know
don't
that
need
you
to-
can go. You just
You don't
leave
need to move
there,
it.
right?
Yeah.
So it's strength can be on
Well,
its parameters.
I usually put the strength all the way up and then just fuss with the parameters
that's
to get
a
the
good
parameters
point.
where I want them.
Because the offset I don't want to be very much. Let me see if I can just do like 1
It's like a
centimeter worth.
tiny bit.
Yeah, it's even less. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. And you can see what we're doing is we're just making it so that it's not a perfect grid. It's a little bit off. Yeah.
You might want to do like a tiny touch of rotation too.
I definitely want that.
mean,
I think on
Assuming it's an old thing, looking at the old floors in this house, you definitely want some rotation.
Yeah.
Randomly.
like you could tell like right away, for example, if I add like a light that's way back here. If I play with the random effector again,
You turn it off and
as
back
I'm
on.
doing this now, like look at
see it.
all the detail you're getting just from
Yes.
lighting now that makes it so that's a more organic floor. There was a series, I think, it may have been Demystifying Post-Production. That was basically all about making your shot more imperfect.
Yeah, that's the key to making
They-
a really good thing is
talk a
adding
lot about
organic
that.
imperfections, which is why it's nice that they have imperfection maps in Cinema 4D now. So if you go to your asset browser, when you're making materials, you've got scratches and smudges and stuff you can easily throw into your roughness channels or wherever.
Imperfections in the
Verbetsky,
skin.
hello in the Ukraine. My last name also ends in ski, but it's SKI in my case because my genetic 1/4 of my genetic ancestry is Polish.
I was about to ask what percentage of your ancestry is Polish?
Yeah, my dad is half Polish and half Lithuanian, so he calls himself Polith, which he thinks is very funny.
Let's go around the room and talk about what percentage of our heritage is Polish.
0.
I don't know.
It's ridiculous. I'm a first hybrid Japanese and Indian.
Like legitimately, very
Like
first time?
I am legit. Like as far as my genetics show, exactly split down the middle.
That's
with
incredible.
a slight 1% favoring Indian.
That's incredible.
I have never done a genetic testy thing.
I should do one.
I'm just trusting my parents and their parents before.
Never
them.
trust your parents. Have you not been told that?
I mean, as far as I can tell.
That's true. You should trust your
Alright.
parents. They're great.
Now, can I add a?
What do you want? What do you want to do?
Oh, so what I would want to do is I would want to probably use some bullet physics on this.
You would
and
have to
turn
use
these
bullet
into
physics, yeah.
rigid body.
Yes.
But I would also tell them for collision, I would want instead of triggered immediately, I want because watch this. They
yeah.
should just either fall straight down unless my random effector is making them touch each other, in which case they'll
It'll
explode.
But I think you got them far enough apart that it won't.
Let's see. Oh, it's thinking.
Why is
Or
it thinking?
or I missed the play button.
Oh,
Oh
there
yeah.
you go.
So yeah, there we go. So yeah, the floor falls out from under you. So if I change this from immediately to on collision, then I can do what I like to do, which is add an explosion sphere. So what I'm going to do with this guy is I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to enable a keyframe right there. I like to use auto keyframing, even though it can be very scary for a lot of people to use. And
That's why
all
it puts a big red outline around your.
all I'm going to do
viewport.
is that right there. I'm going to move it from there to there, 8 frames long. Depending on how many frames long this impact is, it's how fast it'll turn into. So now I'll turn off my auto keyframing, whatever. And on the sphere, let's add a bullet tag, a collider body. And if I want, I can just hide the sphere from the render and the viewport. So now when I play, you can see this.
Perfect.
Done, right?
I would suggest putting a floor in
They can
And
bounce
put-
off of.
and putting a collider on it and put it just slightly below your planks.
No, I want to.
that-
Yeah, I'm going to
that
go back
way
to the shot and
your planks
remind
won't fall away.
myself. Because what happened? Did they bounce in that shot after they explode? Because I
I'm just trying to
imagine
keep
there
the
are
rest of your floor from falling away.
Oh, good point. The rest of the floor. So, wait. So they fall through. Are any of them colliding? Oh, we didn't even get that far in the shot. See, have the disadvantage of having to try to do all this stuff. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a plane, and I'll just move it up here for a second. And it's got 10 by 10 segments. I'll make it very big like that, and I'm actually going to press C to bake it out. I could leave it a plane normally, but what I want to do is punch a. Whoops. Let's select kind of. I don't know. I'm trying to make it not like perfectly. There we go. Just delete all of those polygons from it. And then we'll put it back. You can just go to the coordinates and turn it back to 0. And on it, we'll say simulation tag. I keep on saying simulation. Bullet tag, collider body.
Yeah, so, unfortunately, rigid bodies are not yet included in the full simulation where everything else is yet.
So if everyone remembers, we basically now have this weird, like low poly hole under this part of the floor, but it exists around for these other parts, so they have somewhere to stay. I'm going to on my collider tag for the plane, I'm going to go to its dynamics, and there's a rattlesnake in here. I'm going to get a bunch of alarms in just a second. Let me tell my phone to leave me alone. I'm going to go to
its phone alerts when there's a rattlesnake.
Yes, it's actually supposed to be this. It's take your pills. So I'm going to take my pills, everybody. Take your pills when you're supposed to.
Take your pills. Pills.
I won't say that.
Everybody, take your pills. I'm going to make a drop for taking pills. Maybe I shouldn't, now that I think about it.
Yeah, well, let's we'll hold on that. Yes.
There we go.
Prescribed pills.
So look at this. So now we have a beautiful bit of interaction, and the whole looks pretty organic because you get these little beams that stick out over parts of it, but the simulation is over by then. So like this is what I'm going for is right here. Boom. And I think that in the trailer there are 2 blasts. So I think that there is literally let me see, let's go to a side view and we'll turn my sphere on again for a second. So we've got this sphere, and I'm also going to control and drag one over here, which is going to be confused because of my keyframing.
Just delete your keyframes off of it.
Yeah. So
or alternatively, delete the X and Z keyframes, just leaving the Y, and that way you can just move it wherever you want, and you still got the same animation.
That's a good point. It's too late. It's too late for me, son.
Real quick, I'm sorry. I'm going to bust in here and say I just imported so I was going to take Jason Murphy's advice, and I was going to say I fixed this shot by adding a raptor into it. Now, I went to import a roaring raptor that we had already exported as an OBJ sequence, and I found one called Gaga too, and I remembered, you know what? I remember Hashi animating a roar, so I imported this object sequence, OBJ sequence, not knowing what it was you actually did, and this is what I just imported.
You did. Many people were not aware that in, let's see, I've got to find it in our But with Raptors feed.
This is a full-on woman.
That Lady Gaga I've got it pulled up full frame.
Okay. It's so funny.
Lady Gaga and her body are completely digital in this.
Yep, I didn't know.
So, I didn't know the body was digital. I thought you just replaced the head, but I guess
I love how little you did.
She doesn't roar at Bradley Cooper.
Well, I love how little you did to. No one thinks it's 3D because of how lazy the transition from raptor to human is.
It's a nice little like ribbon she's got like tied around her neck.
You Hanna-Barbera it.
If you remove that ribbon, by the way, your head falls off. Scary stories to tell in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's a version of that my children know of, the golden screw, that is like a screw in the belly button, and the kids like asking all the people in the village like, how do you take that out? Like they go ask the wise man, and he's like, I can't tell you, and they tell more and more, and he asks more and more wise men until finally one says okay, like like, you're welcome to do it if you want. Find out for yourself. And so the kid gets a golden screwdriver, which can undo the screw, and his butt falls off. That's it. That's the story, and it's one of our favorites.
My kids would love that story. They're at the age where anything to do with toots and butts is very, very funny.
So 27.
And I think we talked about it on the show too. But this second Bradley Cooper shot is also all digital.
Oh, it is. Wait.
It's a still of Bradley. It's this still of Bradley Cooper being avatarify animated.
So you're just animating him
and then I like animated little shadow, so it's like he's backing up into the car saying,
Do you people see how much work we do to entertain you?
Yep. We had to employ deep fakery, like full CG shot. Like I'm using a little bit of like the background image here, I guess, that I had to repaint because she's standing right here in this shot.
I mean, it's in the grand scheme of things, this is a dumb joke, but the amount of work we put into it, I say you put into it, is a masterpiece.
And if you're not following the Lovely Butt with Raptors account,
Lovely Butt,
please, Butt with Raptors, Lovely Butts. We look at this dedication.
The Lovely Butts.
That Elvis one is so good.
To this craft, there's just hit after hit.
And by the way, guys, I'm just going to say it here on the record. I've been making a movie since July. Everything you've seen on this account since July has been this guy. This guy.
That's so good.
And it's all incredible. I have been not one-upped. We are a team. This is just unbelievable work. Hashi has been pulling the weight around here on
The
Boat
banner
Raptors.
is so perfect.
It really is. I love that it lasts as long as it does.
I was looking at some of the comments. People noticed that you did the shadow on the raptor head on the shadow shot.
Thank you.
And that little head turn being Dr. Sadler is also noticed by the people.
And that banner is great because it lasts a split second, then it's gone. That's why it's so good.
Yeah, the hair shake that happens right here is one of my favorites. I can't remember that hair shake right there.
Yes.
I talked about it on the show last week. It's a low poly piece of like photogrammetried hair with a couple of extra pieces on them with soft body dynamics. But somehow the highlight or the value that I got on the specular just worked perfectly to look like his hair. It falls apart in the close-ups, but no. You get it.
It's fine. It's good. It's good. Now, someone asked, how did you get Arnold's voice in your Terminator joke thing you did earlier this week? But
I was distracted. What did?
Yeah, I used the AI thing.
I'll be right with you, Michael. 1 second.
Okay, and this is where we get flagged.
I'm sorry, YouTube. I want them to flag that, and then I want to ask them why.
Did you use the what's it called, the fake you to do the Arnold voice?
Yes, I used fake you to do that. I used to use UberDuck a lot for fake voices, but now they want me to pay for them.
Well, it's like, who do we want to be? Not Donald Trump. No, thank you. Let's be.
See, there's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie voice in there.
Oh, they got Chris Pratt in there? That's probably how they did the voice for the Mario movie. Burn!
Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. It's me. Oh,
Jack Black as Bowser. That was fantastic.
Your son. We are related.
Trying to find who asked the question about the Arnold voice. Someone way back here asked about it. In the chat. Somebody asked about it. We answered your question, person who asked. I don't remember.
And it's pending. Wait,
Frigby, I wasn't paying attention to when you said a friend of yours shot the original video for something.
Oh, boy. What is that going to be?
Yeah, Frigby. The original video for what?
The Rick.
I don't remember what was on the screen at the time.
The Rick video?
I mean, that was a very recent. The Rick Astley. What? You have a friend who shot the Rick Astley music video for Never Gonna Give You Up?
Oh, that's got to suck to not be making any money from that.
Yeah, but just think of all the cash you probably get to see from that.
It's like this knows I'm trying to show it off.
Frigby Chillweather is older than we thought they were.
Kirby Chillweather is
Or
been
it's
dead
like
for
a Marty
17
McFly Doc
years.
situation with friends.
Oh yeah, it's true. Marty and Doc are supposed to be friends.
Yeah. It's fine, you know. If you can't be.
You did fix a shot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's better now.
It is better now.
What are you doing, Hush?
What am I
I
doing?
might cut back and you're still watching the ghost video.
Let's watch
Eyes have glazed over.
Entranced.
Oh, glazed. Very good joke, Seth. Because pottery.
Oh, God. See you, Mike. Just kidding. You're back.
I'm not the one that made the joke. It was you.
I know. I hate when you point out that I made a. No.
Okay, I'm just.
See, I think we make puns accidentally because our brain is making that connection subconsciously, and so then we just say the thing that is the joke because our brain is just in that area. So the word, the word that you're thinking of, I think the word you would be thinking of in the situation is changing based on the context. I think our brains pun accidentally.
That was Michael Slavsky, and that was his TED Talk. Thank you, everyone, so much. I really want a TED Talk from you about puns, which I think we basically just got.
It's just. It's what can you say that hasn't already been said?
My schedule is so busy.
It is busy. Oh, you've got a nice firelight I see going on there.
Yeah, just
Steven
like,
Spielberg
I'm just
reference.
using
That's a very
nice,
yellow light.
basic C4D light.
Isn't that Spielberg's,
I just told
Spielberg
you
short,
not,
Firelight?
See, wait, what was the question?
Spielberg's one of his first shorts. There was
Sugarland Express.
Escape to Nowhere. No. As a kid, Escape to Nowhere, which was this war movie he made. And Firelight, I think, is the one he made with the two plates of glass with the little. It's basically the alien like floating glowy pre-Close Encounters. Anyway, someone said
Call up your buddy JJ who telecinate those.
Pretty sure you have closer ties to Spielberg than I do, sir, since you rode on the man's jet.
And stole his sweatshirt.
Is that the one?
No, I didn't steal the sweatshirt. I didn't steal the sweatshirt.
I was literally thinking
from
about
Steven
that.
Spielberg's bathroom on his private jet. Oh, it's the whole thing.
Guys, how did you miss the feet? Bad Billy asks from the chat.
The feet.
How do we miss the feet in
If you mean
Indiana
the
Jones?
If you mean in the raptor thing, the raptor is always only the head, except for in the very early days. I think we had a tail version in the Mission Impossible thing, but since then, the raptor has only ever been just the head, and the hands and feet are human.
Which means per our Raptorverse canon, it just means that there's one shot where there is a different, not Tom Cruise, naked ass raptor walking through the hallway.
They're talking about. They want us to rag on the horrible work on the feet at 54 seconds and 3 frames into the Indiana Jones trailer. We're not ragging on the trailer.
We're not going to rag on
We already covered that the VFX in the trailers are never final, and they're just being rushed to get the trailer done, and so they don't need to be ragged on. VFX are hard.
Hang on, 54.3 feet? I don't see no feet.
Well, maybe they're talking about the Cocaine Bear trailer then. I don't know. 5403 in. How can you miss the horrible work on the feet?
5403
with 3 question marks.
Is I'm going to show you what 5403 is.
Unless they mean 54 minutes and 3 seconds into our show.
Which I don't know how to rewind to.
Oh, God. Wait, we have time? Time exists in our show, too?
We have time. In fact, it is. We have 28 minutes
You're going to have to be a little more specific on what you're talking about, because here's 54 minutes and 3 seconds into the trailer that we were watching. There's not that many feet.
He is correct. There are no feet in this shot.
There's horrible feet work.
Yeah.
Are you talking about his dancing skills? That's mean. He's old. He's not as light on his toes as he used to be. I'm fairly sure it's the point of the movie.
So what I'm doing in the background here is I now have 2 spheres timed slightly after each other to kind of represent the initial blast and then a secondary, slightly bigger one.
Which I would point out is realistic. With an actual large explosion, the shockwave travels first and the fire comes second. So with heat, thus temperature, thus giving more force. So it would be accurate for one explosion to have 2 seeming motions to it.
All right, so I'm saving this as it is, and then as soon as I do simulations, I start version saving, which is Control or Option, Control Alt or Option Alt.
Command Alt. Command Option.
Yeah.
Command
Option on a Mac
Save.
S, and you'll see it added a nice little 01 here. Because
I increment
like
and
the way this
save in both
looks.
After Effects and Cinema 4D all the time.
And this is, I'm digging this.
I would like to point out that there's a separate, entirely different way you could do something like this. If you made the floor out of a Voronoi fracture object, you can very easily parametrically generate connectors between things. So you could generate a floor with dynamic connectors that hold the boards together and then are only broken by the explosion, which would hold the other boards in place as well, if you wanted to get very fancy. But I think Hashi's way is better for
just a quick art directed. I'm trying to copy something other. So basically, the people who made the film did all the work. That's why recreating the shots. We say this every now and then, but maybe not often enough. That the work of creating this shot. Well, oh darn it. I forgot I was in the whole darn trailer. And I haven't done a scene edit detection on it yet. Okay. So yeah, the people who arranged, stunt coordinated, if there are any stunt people in it, which is awesome that I have no idea. I have no idea if they're fully digital people. I think this is a practical explosion because I love the way this piece of wood is actually split down the middle. And so it's veneer is falling forward. And I feel like that's a cool attention to detail that you would accidentally get because this is a fake wood. It's finished to look a certain way for the shot, but then
when explosions happen,
I really like to think that this is a real explosion, but I don't know. That could be a completely digital shot, and that's what I'm doing is trying to recreate this as a totally digital shot. So
yeah, but the hard work of designing the shot has already been done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and it doesn't cover it a lot because a lot of people are like, oh, I made this visual effects shot like the movie and blah 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 blah. Yeah, they concepted it first. They laid everything out. There's all that work too.
All right, so now I'm going to turn to my good old friend, the Sketchfab, which I have the Cinema 4D plugin for. So I can just click on here and say connect to Sketchfab, and then I'll uncheck that and I will say soldier. I'm just going to broadly type soldier, and we'll see. This is, let's see, who does this come in as? This guy looks pretty good. Let me see. We'll cut to the trailer real quick. Oh my gosh, I keep on not isolating.
You really need to throw this into a little pre-call.
Oh my gosh, wait, where does it happen? Where does it happen?
You got to do what I did, which is.
Did you scene edit detect this
Dude,
already?
I've scene edit detected this whole bitch.
See, I'm going to do it manually because I don't want to waste the time right now, but I'll break that out and okay, so now we've got this isolated. All right. So now watching it on a loop. So you've got the cool, look at the light interactivity on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Because I assumed that the ceiling wasn't real, but that the floor was.
Oh, interesting.
Which is a weird
That
assumption,
makes sense.
but the ceiling does very well match the initial fire. And to speak again of explosions, like Michael was saying it before, and also Corridor has a fantastic video that Nico just did on discussing the physics of a movie explosion like this. And this one feels like it's following that, where there's
Corridor already
concussive
did it.
blast that puts a bunch of, and then a spray of a bunch of burnable fuel that then ignites secondarily. It's hard to see because a real explosion would blow out the camera if you were exposed to shooting a dark, a room that was basically lit by just this fireplace earlier, maybe. So, honestly, there's not a single frame of this that you see that isn't technically lit by the explosion, where you can see what the original room would have looked like with just that fire, and whatever other lighting design you wanted to do in there. But this is pretty cool. So I've got to look at these soldiers, and I feel like they're kind of generic. They really do look like generic, these guys. So I'm going to grab this. So I import it, and I'll say, okay. And then I'm going to, I think I've used this guy before. Oh, it's rigged already. And he's a German soldier.
Are you just gonna IK chain everything and put some colliders in there, or what's your plan?
I'm trying to figure out what I should. Ooh. I'm a little bit concerned about this because I want to. Deciding if I do want to act. Yeah, there's something bizarrely misaligned here. Maybe in my version he's invincible. He just hangs out there. Okay, you know what? I'm going to grab this guy and just move him to a new project for just a second so I can focus on what the heck happened here. The rig came in and is misaligning things, and I don't know what is responsible for that because I assume if I move the rig, it'll move the whole thing together. And so it's just that something is off. So let me open up this skeleton wherever it is.
Open up the skeleton.
Let me open
the
up
things
the
you
skeleton.
say in visual effects that you wouldn't be able to say in real life. I'm just gonna open up the skeleton. Ugh.
Open up this skeleton here.
So if I got rid of the skeleton completely, like you do, I'm just going to grab this guy and I'm going to do this. I'm going to connect.
Are you just gonna make him a soft body with balloony sort of things going on?
I'm going to connect and delete.
So good.
And then on this object, I'm going to go well, actually, let's look at his poly count. Might as well start with that too. Poly reduction. Let me see what he looks like if I 90% polygon reduce. Fine. That's absolutely fine for this shot. Fine. Great. So just like that, by putting it in a polygon reduction, I've gotten rid of 90% of the heavy data that has to travel with him. Then I can grab this model and go to object, bake object, because I want a single material form instead of all of these little polygon tags, which will likely get messed up. Let's make it a, I don't know, 2048 by 2048 texture. It doesn't need a lot. A single texture, JPEG, and let's save that in this folder we're working in today, which is something.
David Fairchild really wants you to animate him marching with that weird stretchy leg effect. And I have to say, that would be amazing.
Amazing, like silly walk stuff. Let's see. Oh, was it not? Okay, it's not a single. Was it the illumination channel? Nuts. Okay. Wait, undo. How are these textures working? I've got to quickly look at them. It's in the reflectance channel. I hate that.
Those jerks.
How?
Need a script.
Nuts. Okay. I know that you can technically. So this one's garbage. I don't need that anymore. Yeah, reflectance is where they get mapped often. So what I need to do is, I think if I open up one like this into a new window, I can click on reflectance here and then go to the base color where this.
This one's not using any texture.
Oh, this one's not. Dang it. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go to each of these. Dang it. This is the unfortunate part about working with something like this. Wait, what do? You can
grab the picture. Yeah.
Picture. Put it in the color channel. Okay. And then enable color and turn off reflection. Oh gosh, I do need a script. Okay. Reflectant base color. Grab the picture, drag it to the color channel, enable that, disable that. This is boring. Seth, what are you doing?
Well, excellent question. I've fallen into my old raptoring ways.
Listen, chat, when you bring up raptors, like, you just have to be prepared for what's about to happen.
Yeah.
If you shout that during the show, we will get distracted and dedicate the entire rest of the show.
All three of us have ADHD with focus issues,
and several of us are medicated for it. And
some of us had my pill reminder in the middle of the show.
Yeah,
so.
and I am not medicated for it.
I am so heavily medicated. Do you understand what life would be like for me if I wasn't medicated? Like, this is what I'm like with medication.
I think I should probably get some for me at some point.
What's your address?
Yeah.
I'm not.
And also,
unsanctioned drugs.
Yeah, and again, per legal, do not
Don't
mail
have random
piles of drugs.
internet friends
Don't
send you
do
drugs.
Your friends.
I just thought it'd be funny. The guy says, "Who is this guy?" And then you cut to.
That's fantastic. Oh yeah, you could finish that out and get it on our show. I mean, on our Twitter feed.
Who knows?
Which, by the way, if you're
Instagram.
here, please go follow us on Instagram.
But with Raptors.
On Instagram.
On
Oh,
Instagram.
on Twitter, you mean?
Both.
Yeah,
We're not updating
but you know,
on
like
Instagram.
Instagram, just in case.
We are on Instagram just in case, but we also haven't been updated it for a long time, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that I did find the login, but I didn't have it for a while, and I had not been updating anything there.
Really need to update it, Ash. Because in case Twitter burns.
Wait, why would that happen, Michael? What's going on? Anything notable going on with any
nothing
figures
that
related
big.
to
Some
Twitter? Probably nothing, right? Not worth looking at.
Probably nothing. I mean, it generally is probably nothing. Except the end of Twitter as we knew it. But other than that.
The end of the.
Oh my gosh, this is the most boring process. I'm almost.
Jason Murphy says that they think they would cry if they actually got medication and realized how much they could have been getting done all these years. Yeah, I'm concerned about that. For me as well.
Hey, we don't live in the past.
Nick, no, listen. Your life has been full of rich and enjoyable distractions. Nick Toth says, "Have you guys tried 3D objects in the new beta version of AE?" Yes.
Yeah.
For a couple seconds,
It's
and went
fine.
ooh, and then went back to the things that work. It's not
By the
ready
way-
yet for anything that we do or me do. I do.
Great. It's a good way for them to have it in a build so they can keep adding to it. But yeah, it's not.
It's going to be good.
It'll be
for
really
people
cool.
who need a 3D logo just real quick or some 3D text just real quick. Like it's going to be great for that. Or people who just need to have a thing just real quick on the screen. It's going to be great for those things.
By the way, when I'm not medicated, I'm told by my wife I am significantly more fun to be around. The problem is I get nothing done. And if anything's going wrong, like if I'm very impatient and lose my crap real quick. But, so for what it's worth, if you're not on medication for ADHD and you worry that you're missing out on something, I'd argue you're probably more fun right now than you would be on the meds. That said, I'm heavily medicated and would die without them.
Well said.
Forget to feed yourself? Because
So
that's
would
what
my
I do.
family. Oh, I never forget to feed myself. Don't you worry about that. I just wouldn't have anything to feed.
Yeah, the new 3D in After Effects is going to be great for people who don't have Element or Helium. I was going to say or Cinema 4D, but everyone who has After Effects has Cinema 4D Lite. So, drugs,
That's
booze,
true.
you've had it all this week. Yes, Figure Chill Weather, we have had it all this week.
And we hope that you do too, personally.
Again,
Specifically you.
per legal, only drugs given to you by your medical professional and not mixed with booze unless they specifically say that you may.
Oh yes.
I don't know
And
what to
only
do
if
about
you're
this
of
hat.
age in the country in which you reside, and
Please follow
are-
the local, state, and
and the requirements of your
Provincial guidelines.
religious practice. If you're Muslim, you probably shouldn't do any of the booze stuff, or Mormon or Southern Baptist unless you're by yourself.
I don't know what to do about this hat.
that's
Hashi,
what
do we
Emerson's
have a
been
hat?
saying for years. Yeah, I've got a hat.
We have an indie hat?
I have a hat from when we did the Invisible Man.
Did you not
Yeah, I was literally.
monkey around with my camera earlier and show my raptor wearing a hat?
You mean?
Oh boy.
Oh,
No,
God.
I've done it.
I'm not fast enough with it.
I do have a 3D hat somewhere for when I did the Invisible Man fight.
Yes. There we go. Just take that. You can use that hat.
Great.
No, I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I very clearly do somewhere. Let me. What's it under? I've had one before, but I don't remember for what now. Oh, for Singing in the Rain.
Oh,
Well, that's
So
perfect.
it might be in there already, and you just need a different
here's the question.
texture on it.
And so
I
it's
think
already
that's a fedora.
it's already on it too, right? Then. Like
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know how to attach it to the head. I've never been able to figure that out.
Oh yeah, you got to do that on the Cinema 4D level.
Yeah, but I've never been able to figure out how because.
Oh, you got to attach it to the skeleton.
Attach it to the skeleton.
Mm-hmm. Just like, yeah, if you want to attach something to sort of moves with somebody's body, you've got to like, get a deck screw and screw it into their skeleton. It'll stay locked
A deck screw.
in place.
Only. By the way, deck screws are all I own. I don't own any other kinds of screws. Is that bad?
No, it's fine. There couldn't. How many could there be?
Like literally,
Fire
I'm
the
like
art
hanging things
director.
on my wall with deck screws. Is that bad?
Well,
It's-
if you want them to be there as strongly as a deck, then I don't see what the problem is.
I think it's important that you make sure you're very clearly saying deck and not swapping in another vowel.
Yeah, no dock screws.
Yeah, no dock screws.
Don't want any dock screws. Fire, the art director, says their meds only keep them from curling in a ball and crying under their desk, which sounds like they're doing good work for you. Nakash Afzal, I'm very sorry I pronounced your name wrong, says, anybody read comments? Yes. And Jason Murphy says, so are you saying that Hashi isn't going to send us all medication if we put our address in the chat? He's not going to.
No, I'm sorry.
I mean, Canada does give you free
even
meds,
though they're so
but
much more affordable here. Oh my gosh.
sending them internationally would probably be
Yeah, it's the
considered.
shipping though.
It's the shipping and the possible jail time.
Oh, there's that. Wait, why do you do this to me? Why aren't you? What did I do? Oh, was that the wrong thing to do?
Sorry, we're watching Seth's screen, so we have no idea.
Oh, sorry. Let me go back to you.
Well, I'm not doing anything.
Are you still trying to bake it?
Yeah, I was just trying to quickly bake them out, and I thought this is what I usually do. Blah blah blah. Do that and that and that, and say bake. I increased the size, and I'm doing some more sampling on it now.
I mean,
Because it came across it, but
2K
it's
is probably large enough.
it's giving a lot of.
Well, why are you baking? You shouldn't have to. It should still work.
It's just
Superstition?
yes. It's I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious.
A little stitious.
That's one of my favorites.
Me too.
Favorite things. All right, fine. I'll export it with all these stupid.
You don't even need to export it. Just copy it and paste it.
I wanted to put it in a. I guess I don't need a Mixamo thing. I'll make a.
Or just make it a soft
body.
body. Yeah. Just make it a soft
Okay,
body.
so
Make it
let's
a
just
soft
test what would
body.
happen if we had a plane like this, and under simulation, we're going to say collider, and then on this soldier, let me reveal how many polys he's got. So that's pretty sparse for a humanoid. So let's just, out of curiosity, tell him to be a soft body, and you'll see this, which is kind of cool. This is basically the equivalent of if you had like a deck screw running from every section of your body, like
A squishy deck screw.
Yeah, an elastic deck screw. Yeah, you don't need to see that. So,
Hey, Hashi, real quick. I've got a Singing in the Rain. Do you have OBJ sequences for that? Ooh, ouch. Ouch.
this was so much better than I could have imagined.
Good Lord.
And all that extra little debris that flies off because of it makes for a really cool.
Yeah, he's going to explode great. So you can use the option to keep the animation, and he'll try to stay in position until he gets blown up, and then you can keyframe that down.
So what is that mix animation?
Mm.
Oh, with pin with
with pins.
polish with pins
Or forces. Either way, and he'll stay sitting upright until the explosion happens. Then I would keyframe that off so he can just flop around without trying to float back up to his.
So, but Seth, you had a question a second ago.
I found your Singing in the Rain
I
Cinema
know we've
4D
only got 8 minutes,
files.
but I'm totally going to finish this shot perfectly.
I found your Singing in the Rain Cinema 4D files, but I didn't know if you had OBJ sequences anywhere. It's okay.
They should still be in there.
Nah, it's all right. I found this crap. You
Are they
probably were
called,
rendering
like,
somewhere else.
Brain 3D stuff.
It's
Let me
okay.
see. Raptor assets. Doo. sequence.
Oh,
Singing SEQ.
yeah, CQ means
looking up,
sequence. I should have
sing,
looked at that. My bad.
head, idle. Man, I'm so curious what I did with that.
It's okay. You go back to what you were doing.
Yes,
Found
we
the
have
hat.
7 minutes left for you to finish this explosion shot.
We'll finish it. Okay, so what do we got? So let's go to. I'm going to go to the Sketchfab importer really quickly, and I'm just going to say, I don't know, bell tower. No, I need a small room. What's a small roundish room?
Just say room.
I don't like typing room into Sketchfab.
Okay.
What if I did say round room? Round table room. Fine. Okay, we're going to grab this round table room. I'm going to quickly see what the scale of this thing looks like. Oh, I've used this before for something. So this room looks like this. I'm going to quickly break it into a room wall. Pillars, podium, the room itself. Okay, so I want to knock out a bunch of it. So we'll say, let's do a quick connect and delete situation. And so I can just have half this room here. I'm going to get rid of this whole section of the floor that sticks up, I think, by clicking on that point, then saying UW. Oh, they're not very connected to each other.
Control-Alt-U-O will optimize it and make things be more connected.
Control-Alt. Oh,
Control-A, so you have everything selected. Mm-hmm. And then U-O is optimize.
Oh. Okay, so it happened in theory, right?
In theory.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Michael knowing what he's talking about again. Let's see. So if I delete that, is that the walls too? Okay. So I've just got to do a little painting here. This is very silly what I'm doing. It's just because I want to be able to see the people, and I don't like having...
You're deleting the fourth wall. It's fine.
Oh, well done. Well done. Okay, we'll delete these things so I can see through. This is not the way to do it. I'm sorry, everybody.
It is.
It's that way to do it. This is my like.
I mean, it literally is a way to do it. You get rid of the walls you don't need.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. This is 100%
like
how you do it.
Set building style.
Don't lose the floor. Oh, you do want to lose the floor because you got your fake floor.
You want to lose the floor.
That's right.
So there we go. I just want the walls. So that was the worst way you could have done that.
No, it isn't.
It's a ridiculous way to have done it.
That's a fine way to do it.
Okay, these pieces, are they not selecting because of the normal direction? Doesn't matter. Okay, gosh, what do we got? We're at 3 minutes now?
3 minutes to finish this.
Jeez. Okay, so in this instance, what I want to do is let's do a quick cloner. Let's put the thing in that. Now we have a bunch of Germans, and now we'll put them into a radial. Aww. I don't.
I love that your first response was "aw."
Look at them.
Make love, not hate speech. Everybody, cloner object. Let's make it radius about that big, and I'll add.
So, do you think the explosion should be this big or this big?
6 soldiers, and I'm going to have them kind of crowded around. I love this ring around the recipe.
They're like Jesus and the disciples. We want a table for 24 people. There's 12 of you. We want to sit on the one side.
Okay. I do love that arrangement. Okay. And I want the room to be a little bit smaller so they hit the walls a little bit easier. And then let me see the room again. Why am I not seeing... I want to get rid of all these little dangly bits.
Mm-hmm. Vinicius Augusto. Vinicius? I don't know. Sorry about your name again. I've been butchering people's names today. I want a discount in Cinema 4D subscriber, please. Maxon has not done Cinema 4D discounts other than upgrade opportunities really for a long time.
Yes.
Now that it's Red Giant, I think 2019 was the last Red Giant sale. But I think today might be the last day of the Universe sale. So if you are a brand new if you've never had Red Giant Universe before and you're kind of curious, you can get it for half off for your first year. See, the thing is, Red Giant's we know these Maxon's we know these Red Giant tools are great, but people aren't trying them. So if we can just let them have it for a little bit of money off, we can hook them because then they'll want them forever. That's their secret because they know they're cool and you'll want them forever.
Wait, that's our whole business strategy, Michael.
Is making cool tools that you want forever?
Is based on drugs.
That's basically the business strategy, making awesome tools that you never want to be without.
All right, I'm going to make this room smaller and just for myself. Yeah, well, I know that I took out the floor a second ago, but I'm going to put this back in just to remind myself where it is. I added an attractor in the middle that is set to a negative value. Is that not the right thing to do? No, I don't.
That should be that would be it's fine. You just need to you have to crank the value way up, but you need to put that tag on the cloner.
Yeah, I just realized that. Let me see if what does it think it's doing now? It's just going to think for a second. And hey, Seth, what's going on? I have a feeling I'm about to crash this.
Oh, I am just bringing.
Normally, I would apply a soft body to like a lower poly version of something, but I've gone right ahead and tried to play it with my tags not set up properly.
I am sampling some color. So brown, let's say 2A31. 2A231A. I'm going to remember it manually.
Oh no, do I need to restart my cinema?
I just had that happen to me too.
That's right, right on the dot too. Okay.
I know you're right. You were right there. We were seconds away from greatness.
We were. Okay. All right. Let's get rebooted here. You got your OBJ sequence there?
Yes,
Seth, can we go back to seeing Hashi instead of just the raptor on a stick?
Yeah. Oh, you want to actually see Hashi? Well, I'll see about that. Right after I'm done with this.
All right. So what happened earlier is that my tag should have been on that thing. Let's save all this. Let's copy these guys into, what do we call the floor project? Floor
you might want to make them a little even lower poly just to make things go a little faster.
Yeah, I think we'll do that. Oh, yeah.
But without, take the tag off first. Hey, that's looking good.
First of all, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. I've got to realign these people. The Germans are always improperly aligned in these things. It's a historical joke. I'm not making any sweeping generalization.
I hope the chat appreciates the joke about historical war happenings.
I'm sure that okay. This is a very Indiana Jones looking thing because of the uplighting.
It's like they opened up the Ark.
It really is. Okay, let's start incrementing and saving this business. And I'm going to move the building down so it's actually not those. I don't want this part of the room. I actually want this part of the room. And maybe even, let's see, where do we like it? Let's say here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it.
So this is cool. And I'm going to disable my. Okay, I put my soft body on this right now, but let me take the individual soldier out, and I'm going to reduce the polygon count of them again. And normally what you could do is a trick that I learned a little while ago is you can I learned from EJ Hasenfratz and probably Grayscale Gorilla. I feel like a lot of people have done this tutorial of how you can make a cage around your object. And what I tried, should I show the tip now?
We do. It's weird. We're 3 minutes over time. You got to go.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so I'll reduce them 90% more. Let's see how few polygons could you get away with? About we're just gonna have to go with 65. Let's do that, and we'll put you back in the cloner. And now you're all soft body objects and soft body target length. All right. So now I need a nuts. What do I need? I need let me see what happens first of all right here. We'll save it.
Are you on GPU or CPU?
Should be on GPU.
Okay.
I don't remember where I see that.
What happens is when you start a simulation on CPU, it starts immediately because all of this data is already on the CPU because that's what you're working on. When you have it on GPU simulation, it will always be a little slower.
Where do I check that setting?
Project settings. So
Okay.
Control D.
Yeah. So
Then under simulation, you can pick CPU or GPU.
okay, I
Like right
feel
at the
like
top.
this is always on. Right.
Anyway, CPU, when you
Oh,
start
yeah.
simulation in
GPU.
CPU, it starts immediately, but is slower as it goes. It just goes
Oh!
slower. Oh, yes.
Dang. That is very Indiana Jones. That is fantastic. Okay, so we're getting something here.
Does the floor have a regular collider on it and a bullet collider?
No, it just has a bullet on it. Can I add if I add a
Simulation collider should work.
Okay, so now the board should affect them too, okay? Oh,
Yes. Excellent.
that's
Oh, dangling legs.
dangling legs. Okay, you know what I'm going to do too? I'm going to
Hang on,
add
really quick. I
some-
want to finish my thought. And
Oh,
if you have it on GPU simulation and you hit play and you're like, it takes a minute, like a second to start up or a couple seconds. It's because it's transferring all the geometry data over onto the GPU, and then the GPU can run the simulation. But it has to take that minute, or not minute, hopefully, but a couple seconds to transfer that data over. So but the GPU is faster at doing the calculations up to a certain point of scale. So the GPU might take a little longer to start, but it's way faster to sim usually. But that's where the CPU starts instantly, but is slower to sim because it takes longer to make those calculations. But it's already got that data in place, so it can start simming immediately. So there you go. Sorry, I just want to finish that.
No problem. That's
Jason
good.
Murphy wants you to, instead of having a sphere bursting up through the floor, make it be a cocaine bear bursting through the floor to disrupt your Nazi trust circle.
Ugh.
But we definitely don't have time. We're 6 minutes past.
I added a quick keyframe to the lighting, which I think actually does give it a nice.
That really helps sell it. That's so good.
There we go. Okay, so what I need to do is
Put that attractor force way up.
okay.
Or
So
way down.
I looks like I didn't like that's where I crashed it. So let's add another force of attraction. Great movie. I'm going to put it low to the ground like this, and on this we're going to go to. Actually, let me see. Can I tell this to ignore? So use collider. Exclude no. Where do I set? Oh, on the bullet tag on forces, I can say to exclude this
Yes.
attractor on the floorboards because I like what the
Right.
floorboards are doing already.
Yes.
So I'm saying exclude the attractors, but then on the attractor itself, let's set this to a way negative value. Let's try. Does holding shift make it go faster, or is that just in After Effects and I still do it?
Holy shift?
Holy
Holding.
shift.
I thought you said this holy shift make it go fast.
This holy shift. Okay.
Add a 0.
Sure. Factor of 10. Oh, I did have the decimal. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what this is at now. Yes! Oh,
There
you're out the
we
window!
He's gone.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
you just need to put an invisible cylinder in there or something, just real quick, or put a collider body on the buildings
there was one on the
somehow.
building. Okay, wait. Simulation tag, collider.
2 minutes and 8. We're 2 hours 8 minutes in. Although we did
man,
start
okay.
late.
We did
We
pretty
started
good.
late.
The
We
cloner on the
got
ground.
extra two.
Yeah, we did. So count width. Let's add let's add some more to the floor. Look at that. Immediately, just like, and
Okay, you need to animate the
over.
attractor. You need to animate that attractor to be off, and then to be on for a split second, and then off again.
Okay, let's set the floor back to where it was because I messed it up for a second. Okay, attractor, strength, keyframe
Put it at 0.
Slide that to here
Yep,
or so,
yep.
and then add, row, and we'll keep it at 0 until the blast happens.
And then put it at
Here we
0. And then turn it down to 0 a few frames after that too.
Oh yeah, so it's not still pushing
Yeah,
them at the
exactly.
wall. Clever. We're not getting a classic funfair gravitron effect. Okay, I'm going to also, just because I want them all to hit the wall, I'm going to rotate my object. Where's the axis for it? Way down here? Come up higher. I want to be able to play with this. No.
Hold L.
Hold L.
Yeah, you don't have to L temporarily toggles that on and off.
That's delightful. Oh. Oh, nice. Okay, I'm just going to rotate it a little bit like that. And let's play. We've got it.
Save it.
Save.
Incremental.
Incrementally save it. Floor 3. And. Oh, not spacebar. It's F8. Yes! Oh, yeah. Okay.
That is so good.
This is amazing. I love this. Okay, the attractor, we're just going to make this force just be a little bit higher. Let's add a 1 in front of it, so about twice as high. All right. And boom.
That's too much force.
Oh, that's amazing.
It blew him out the wall.
That was a little bit too much force. Let's go to, where's the, wait, did they hit the walls before?
Yes.
They did. Okay, so the
Yeah,
collider.
so what's happening is they're moving too fast. So from frame here to frame here, like from one frame to one frame, they're going from here to way over here. So they pass through the collider before it has time to calculate the collider.
Collider tag disappeared. I probably deleted it, not realizing what I was doing.
Well, that might be why I did it then.
Boom.
There we go.
Yes. Oh, that collider is a little sticky. Okay, I'm going to turn off the friction on the collider, turn up the bounce a little bit. There's stick, which is really fun. But
that's great for rolling something down and picking up spaghetti, like spaghetti and meatballs.
I do thank you all for sticking with us for this. Okay, that I'm going to say is a reasonable approximation of this. If I had a Z depth pass on this and a quick render of this, I could make a thing.
Except for that dude's hat.
That dude's hat. Next time on VFX. Oh man. Okay, I got to delay that. Them getting pushed back by a little bit. Anyway, I'm just spinning my wheels now. You guys are all wonderful, and gals. Thank you so much for tuning in to VFX
Look at
and
them blow up.
Chill.
That's
We had so
incredible.
much fun here just doing this. I had no idea that I would get to blow up a bunch of Nazis today, and
It's important to always rag on Nazis.
Do me a quick favor, guys, and just vamp for just a little bit longer for me, if you would.
Oh, excellent!
Whoa! Oh, now I'm excited about what you might have going on.
Oh no,
That's delightful.
nothing
All
too
right.
great.
Oh! There's something we do need to talk about. Forgot to mention this on Wednesday of next week. Obviously, next week, not this week. This very upcoming Wednesday, we have the last 3D motion show of the year, which starts off with news and announcements, and there are going to be some new things potentially being announced. So, Red Gianty folks and some other folks might want to tune in for some tool updates that may be coming out as well.
Just trying to give them a little bit more of an organic distribution here.
Oh, I got you. I just messed with
the offset variation and the offset angle.
I gotcha.
And then you could actually all I need to do is cycle through the offset seed and just see in a billion different versions. So we'll try this, and
what's really fun is when cloners, like if you're cloning something along a spline and you put the speed on it, and they just start scooching along. People are like, "Wow, you animated so well." It's one button, no keyframes. It's great.
See, what if I turn up make them even wilder on the soft body dynamics? Let's see.
Make it bendier.
Yeah. Ooh, oh gosh, this is very Indiana Jones-esque. Like, see, I think that's the thing is like Spielberg does exceptionally when he gets to mix a bit of horror into as a genre into whatever he's doing, whether it's a Jaws or an Indiana Jones or what are the other movies he's made? He's made movies.
Jurassic P.
You're right, because I wouldn't consider Indiana Jones horror, but there are some fairly horrific
Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
horror elements. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. But set in, I think there's someone who was describing this. This isn't my original thought, but the Jurassic Park is like a horror movie, but disguised as a family adventure film. But it gets very scary and gritty at points, and like one by one, like people go off, and like it has a lot of that.
It's got all the horror tropes. Yeah,
it's a real good movie, is what it is. Any movie that's like not one specific thing is my jam. And all of our jams.
Yes, you're right. So some of my favorite movies aren't one specific thing, like Hot Fuzz. It's a comedy. It's an action movie.
Yeah, any Edgar Wright movie. Baby Driver is so many genres that all work together as one. Guys, it's 2:14. We should probably go.
Oh yeah,
probably
we should.
But you know what? It has been wonderful hanging out with all of you. We have 2 more shows in December, and we're going to do some exciting, wild things that we have definitely already planned out ahead of time, as you can tell from.
That fedora is a gift to my life. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this.
So well.
That's fantastic.
I'm going to have quite a lot of fun with this.
You need Shia LaBeouf saying, "You're a teacher? Part-time."
Part-time. Blah.
Oh, hey, look, Super Comp.
Oh, very much
so
Super
good.
Comp. Let's see what that's Super Comp. That's
I
without.
interrupted your
with.
your outro flow.
There you go. All right. That's it. Guys, thank you. Well, my outro flow, I got no flow for no outro. Except, I will say, I love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Yeah, we're here next week.
See you next week. You're here next week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.